are many. Everyone you speak with today will have a different story as how they achieved their success. In my 28 years of life, I've had many mentors. People who have motivated me in my skating life, people who have inspired me in college, and people who have given me direction in my position as an American Public Diplomacy Envoy. I've had many role models growing up, people who I've looked up to as a skater, as a student, as an envoy. Each offered me valuable advice. And that's what you're going to get here today, great advice. But also know that no two people have the same situation, and some of the things that work for them may not necessarily work for you. So listen and apply what fits your situation and your circumstances. Today should be about exposing you to many different ideas and possibilities, kind of food for thought. So be open-minded. My parents have always told me that things just don't grow on trees. I'm sure some of you have heard that. You have to work hard for everything. You have to seek opportunities, and you have to put yourself in a position to succeed. That's what it takes, and there's no magic wand. In my case, as a skater, that meant getting up every morning at 5 o'clock. I skated 7 days a week, 365 days a year, for over a decade. I remember my dad sitting me down at the rink one day, and he turned to me and said, "Michelle, you're probably not the most talented skater out there." Not what someone wants to hear, but he said, "But with hard work and determination, you can be somebody." I'll never forget those words. And from that moment, I knew that I had to work twice as hard as every other skater. And that meant falling and getting up over and over to land that one jump. And trust me, I have lots of bruises and scars to prove it. I entered all the competitions that I could possibly sign up for. I knew that the more feedback that I would get from judges, the better skater that I would be. I learned from each competition, and when I went home, I applied that knowledge to my practice sessions. And that's what helped me become a better skater. And I'll be the first to admit that I'm not a brilliant, gifted student. In order to succeed in the classroom, I had to work twice as hard too. I don't mean that I studied longer hours than the other students. Actually, it was kind of the opposite. Because I was training and competing, I had less time and therefore had to focus completely and have that tunnel vision when I was studying. I had to make the most of my limited time. I mean, there were times when I wouldn't do so well on a paper or an exam, but I wasn't afraid to ask for help from the professor and to get guidance to preparing for the next paper or for the next exam. I believe that it's important to seek out advice. Now, I was appointed the first American Public Diplomacy Envoy by Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. And being the first envoy meant that there was no concrete job description. I had to develop it as I went along. My first trip as an envoy, I traveled with Undersecretary Karen Hughes. And from her, I learned a lot about how diplomacy is conducted. Later in my own travels, I discovered that it's important to make connections with the people that you meet. Now, I've traveled to China, Argentina, Russia, Ukraine, and in each country I met government officials, people in business, teachers, administrators, and students. I listened. I asked lots of questions and learned from all of them. And the knowledge that I gained allowed me to do my job better. So I encourage all of you to do the same. Be a sponge. Soak up everything that you can. It's not just about what you learn in books. I mean, that's really important, but it's just as important is what you can learn in talking to other people. Seeing things through their eyes and listening to their life experiences. You know, the biggest thing that I've learned in traveling with the State Department is that the world is getting smaller. So it's important to be open-minded and to get to know your global neighbors. I encourage each of you to take the time to learn about people of other countries, learn about their customs, beliefs, and culture. It's become a global workplace, and these are the people that you'll be working closely with as you move forward in your business careers. So the more you know about others, the better the relationship will be between you, not only in your business, but in life as well. In closing, let me just say that you are living in a wonderful time of opportunity, and I know each of you have a goal or a dream that you want, and I tell you to dream big and reach for the stars. There's a great line in a song that says, "Today is where your book begins, and the rest is still unwritten." And I really believe that if you dedicate yourself and you work hard, your dreams can come true, just like many of mine have. So again, it's a pleasure to be here, and I hope that I'll have a chance to meet all of you this afternoon. Thank you.
Michelle, thank you for your enthusiasm and your inspiration. I know we're all eager to get started after hearing the remarks from Iris and Michelle, but let me just take this time to remind you how this will work today.